So MBA essays can really vary. There's the classic, why the MBA, why now, why us? There are other questions that are more behavioral, some that really want to just kind of harp in on your creativity. So here's a question that has come up quite a few times, especially for Stanford, which is what matters most to you and why? This is a very kind of heartfelt, heart question, so to speak, that really kind of gets to who you are, your core. And so when you answer that question, you want to kind of dig deep. You want to be authentic. You want to figure out what exactly makes you tick. What is your passion? And create that kind of line between what you've been doing, what you want to do, and how you want to get there. But that core has to have a common thread. And that's how you could really get to the point of what matters most to you. So you could be creative. For me, for example, it's cliche to say, but I love traveling, right? And through traveling, I learn a lot about other people, other cultures, right? And then through that, I can also extrapolate what it is that really motivates me. Identity, diversity, being limitless, creative, and so forth. These are all key things that are very important to me as a person. And that's a way that you can kind of really drive that essay. And when you think about that, I want you to kind of divide it up. We've talked about this quite a few times in terms of how to break up and create a personal statement, such as this one. For example, start with your ABCs, which again is an attention grabber, your background, your kind of what you've been doing, and then really get to the crux of D, direction, or in this case, really what matters most to you. So I want you to kind of think through that, divide up the essay, really get to the crux of who you are, how you've lived that story, how you've lived that life, that brand, that authenticity through that theme. Capture that and make sure that you kind of put it down in a very coherent manner that really spells out who you are, so that the school is eager to want to find out who you are and invites you to an interview. Now, I want to kind of leave this video with one last thing, which is what are the common mistakes that people make, not just in this essay, but in general essays? Number one, being inauthentic. So just writing a story for that school, thinking that's what the school wants to hear. You don't want to do that. Stick with a storyline that really makes sense, is core to who you are and what you've done, and use that throughout all your applications. It's so important that you have that authenticity so that they can trust you, all right? Number two, make sure that you answer the question, what matters most to you? You don't want to kind of start talking about something completely different, like your career path, and then completely forget just that core quality of the authentic who you are, rather than today I've been doing this, tomorrow I want to do this, and long term I want to do that. You want to kind of create it and make sure that you answer that question really thoughtfully. Another key point is that you want to make sure that the essay flows consistently. There's a theme, it's chronological, or it just kind of flows really smoothly between your different talking points. And that when you do that, that you focus on kind of like the genesis of the idea, and then how it develops, and then how it concludes, like a storyline, like a narrative. Again, we've covered that in the ABCs of the personal statement. Another key point is stick within the word count. Maybe you've got plus minus 5 words or 10 words, but you really don't want to go over that word count. And then finally, make sure that you do a spell check, a syntax. You want to make sure that the grammar is on point. Reread it many times to make sure that everything is flawless. That essay is something you want to stand by. You don't want to like submit and then figure out later, oh, you made a bunch of mistakes. I hope this helps and gets you on the right track to success, especially for your MBA admissions applications. If you have any questions for us, please post them below. We'll do our best to get back to you with further resources. If you like what you saw, subscribe by clicking right over here. And in the meantime, I look forward to working with you on your MBA applications.